I want to add it to a web workflow because most people do their queues from an API or basically HTTP context or gRPC. But what I'm about to do here, you can use it anywhere. Well, let's start by creating a new file here called, maybe we can call it task as well. You see, this is in the same folder with the worker, and it's in the package main. If you want, you can have this in a different package, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to just call it Redis task distributor or something. And then struct. Okay. You can name it anything you like. We are going to need the client, which is the async.Client. I think this is everything we need. So here, I'm going to say func. Let's name it D here. Since we are not changing anything here, I'm going to use the type receiver instead. And let's call this one fire. So this basically fires an event but doesn't do anything with it. And we have two ways to do it. One is to accept the context, another one is to do it without a context. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it without a context. And this is the name of the task, and the payload is any type. Now, it's possible for us to also accept the options here, but this is not really a good idea. For example, I can say options. Let me show you why. Options async.option. Okay, this is the problem with this is we are depending on this async option here. So if you are going to turn this to an interface to be able to mock or create different implementations, then this becomes a problem. So you want to carefully design your API not to depend on the external library. You want a little bit of abstraction, but for this program, we don't care, right? What I'm going to do here is very basic. I'm going to say return d.sendJob, something like this. We're going to create that method shortly. Let's give it a name, the payload, and we give it the options. That's it. Then time to create this one. I'm going to copy this and put it here. We need to take this, basically the same thing, but I always like to keep my internal method different from the external ones. Now, we can basically do what we did earlier, which is let's say payload. This is the tax payload. Let's call it BS and JSON.marshal. We're going to marshal the payload into this. Something else here that we didn't do is to return an error, and then I'm going to return an error here as well. And see if error is not nil, we return the error. Now we have the byte slice. You've seen this before. This is the task. Let's say asynq.new. Okay, we pass the name of the task, the payload, and the options. Okay, now we have the task. What do we need? We can do info error d.client and q. This is why we are accepting the client. So we can call it here. we just include the task. If error is not near, return error. Here I'm not going to do much. I'm going to just log something in the console. Include this task ID. So it's going to be info. What do they have here? I know there is an ID. Maybe we can put a task. I don't know what it's going to contain. Does it have task.type? Yes, that's good. Okay, fantastic. So that's it. When we return this near here, this is everything that we need. I think we need to spread it. Yeah. Now that we have the task distributor, I'm going back to main. Let's go to main. This was our previous code. Here is super simple. Let's have a type server struct. I can call it task, and like this. And what else do we want? Maybe we keep it as simple, and we can write s. This, we are not changing anything there yet. We are going to set this, so I'm going to take a pointer now. Home page. Let's say home for now. HTTP. This is going to be a HTTP handler now. So HTTP handler is, I think, is a HTTP.response writer. Then R is a pointer to HTTP.request. And here is the magic. You can do s.tags.fire and you give it a name. So let's fire, instead of using these methods now, this is a new welcome message. Instead of using this, we can come here now. Let's go back. Sorry about I don't like to open too many files. Let's fire this one. And the payload. Now it's so simple, we can even just use a map. We can use a map or anything, and then user ID. 111, something like this. This is going to put the job in the queue. Of course, it returns an error, so we want to check for the error. If error is not near, we can write. We can just write the error basically. Error. Write http.internal server error. I think we need to write the header before the body, something like this, and we can return. If not, let's write something really simple to the home page. Bytes, you can come here and do, this is not a very good way to write content to the stage, but we can just write hello here and then close it. That's it. So we have our server here. I don't need all this anymore. We're going to take all these ones out. We're going to take everything out. Let's create mocks. HTTP new server mocks. We don't, the mocks is not important like that. We have a default mocks that we can use. We are going to need the server, and don't forget in the server we have what we need inside. We have the task that we need to initialize. Basically we need to, let's take the pointer to it here please. That means here I can pass it this one, and I think inside we have the client, and then we pass this client. Now if this is in a different package, somehow you need like a constructor to do it, you know. Here basically is s.home, and this is our handler. The trick here is the way we are injecting it. That's it. There's nothing special. So irrespective of your project, whether it's a command line project, a gRPC project, a REST project, you are going to find a way to inject it like this, and that's it. So http.listing on serve. We're going to listen on, let's say 3000, and then pass the mux. This returns an error, so we can do if error is not near, log fatal here, and that's it. So basically we have it now, and what I'm going to do first, let's run one of the handlers excuse me. Then I'm going to come here, go run cmd worker. The worker now is running our HTTP server. That means what is going to happen, let me scroll down a little bit. When we hit the home page here, we are going to hit this handler, and the handler is going to fire the event. If we are unable to fire the event, of course we're going to see an error, else we should see a hello. Each time we see a hello, we should also see a message being consumed by the handler. Okay, so I'm going to, let me open up Incognito. Okay, at least we are seeing this hello. That's a good sign. So let me move this out. And this is the handler. I don't see any message in the handler. Okay, so let's go and, okay, actually it's coming. Look at it. So you see, and it's super fast because you are no longer processing the whole thing in the same HTTP context. And this is the fun of building a distributed system. It's so cool. If we, just one last thing before I end the video, let's say, don't forget, instead of what we are doing here in the handler, for example, this is a welcome message. If we put, let's say, time.sleep 5 times time.seconds, and then log.print before sleep, I think we can use println here, before sleep. Okay, let's restart everything. So restart the job, and let's go to this one. Okay, I think everything is running. Let's go back again and run it. Let me close this one. The server itself is not running, so let's go run cmd worker, which is no longer a valid name for it, but it's okay. You see, the sleep does not affect the speed of our response because we are doing it in a different process. It doesn't at all. It's very, things are super fast, you know, it's demonized. You look at it, it's not affecting it at all. You see, we are sending so many things into the queue like really fast, and this is the joy of using a queue system. The only thing, of course, you have to be mindful of is it's not completely free. You are going to put a message in Redis, which is going to make a call to Redis and all that, but it's super fast compared to you trying to send an email, for example, you know. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, and then see you soon.